Hello and welcome back. You are learning AWS CloudFront. When we are creating CloudFront distribution, we are getting many options. Here I am in my AWS console and I am creating new CloudFront distribution. Look at this. We are getting all these options here. If you are not going to perform labs for each and every options, it is okay. But you must have detail about this. At least you must be familiar with all these options. Why? Because if you are going for the interview, they can ask you questions from anywhere. Now, if you don't know anything about one specific option, you will be in trouble. And I don't want you to be in trouble, and that's why I'm actually explaining you each and every options. We already covered origin and default cache behavior. Today we are going to discuss about function associations. So let's start. Here we are going to cover function associations within 3 chapters. And chapter number 1 is introduction. So let's start with the introduction.
In 2024, you should need to learn Docker. But why? To get the answer, join our free upcoming webinar. Link is in description. Book your seat now. Thank you.
Function associations allow you to execute custom code to modify request and response as they pass through the CloudFront distribution. As you know that if you want to open website, you are not going to send request directly to the origin. You are sending your request to the CloudFront, and then CloudFront will forward this request to the origin if it is not going to get cache from the edge location. Now, when you are going to send requests and when you are getting your response, we can run some functions, we can run some scripts, we can run some code. And this is what the function association comes into the picture. Now, you may have one question here that why we are doing this. Enabling more personalized and dynamic content delivery. If you are going to use function, you can enable more personalized experience to the user. You can give them more personalized experience. Now, how? I'm going to explain you all this, but first of all, you just need to understand 4 points of function associations. If you look at here, you will get this viewer request, viewer response, origin request, origin response. I want you to understand these 4 points first, then we will go for complete understanding about the use case. Now here we have viewer request, origin response, and viewer response. I just changed the order of this. Why? Because I want you to understand the way it is actually working. Now to explain you this, here I have one picture. Here I have one origin. You can consider any S3 or elastic load balancer as an origin. Here I have viewer. Now whenever my viewer wants to open website, it is going to send request. Now when user is going to send request, definitely it is going to the CloudFront. The request from the user is known as viewer request. Now here you can associate one function. So, when the user will send request, it is called viewer request. Now, before processing this request, CloudFront will run one function. After running the function, it will process the request. Now, there are 2 possibilities. The first possibility we have is CloudFront already having this cache content. If CloudFront having this, it is going to send response. We call it viewer response. Now here, if CloudFront having this resource cache in the cache, before sending request, before giving response to the user, it will run one function. We call it viewer response function. Now, if CloudFront don't have content into their edge location, CloudFront will go to the origin. Now before CloudFront is going to send this request to the origin, it will run one function. We call it origin request function association. Same way, when origin will provide response, before processing this particular response, CloudFront will run one function. We call it origin response association. So here we can run functions on 4 different points: viewer request, origin response, and viewer response. Now, if I'm going to give you example of each and every function's use case, you will get better understanding. So let's start chapter number 2, function association points. Here I am going to start with a viewer request. As you know that here we have viewer request when you are going to send request to the CloudFront edge location. When it will run, executes when CloudFront receives the request from the viewer. Use case, URL rewrite, redirect, request validation, and adding custom header. Now here I am going to give you one simple example. You want to redirect user to the different version of your website based on the geographic location. For instance, user from Germany should be redirected to the German version of the site, and user from India should be redirected to the Indian version of site. Kind of personalized response, right? Now how the things will happen? First of all, you are sending request. Now when the request will come to the CloudFront can serve your website based on your location. For example, if you are from India, you will get Indian version of the website. If you are from Germany, you will get German version of website. But how CloudFront can verify your location? How CloudFront will find out that you are from India or you are from Germany? So here, what is the idea? When the viewer will send request, before CloudFront process this request, it is going to run one script. It can be script in Java or Python or any script. Now this script will find out your location based on the IP address from where you are requesting. And then this particular function will find out your location from your IP, and then it is going to the CloudFront. Now CloudFront will get the request that, okay, this user is from Germany, so provide German website to this user. This request is coming from India, so provide Indian version of the file, the website. Now here, CloudFront is responsible to give you response. Now if, let's say that if the user is from India, it will verify that, okay, I have Indian version of website is cached here, it will provide you response. If CloudFront don't have Indian version, it will say that, okay, I'm going to request this to the origin, and then I will provide you this website, right? So this origin request will only run if there is no version of India or Germany available. Otherwise, CloudFront will provide you response. If you are requesting for German website and German website is already cached, then we don't need to worry about this. Then this process will never ever happen, right? So now, let's talk about the second process. We call it origin request. When it runs, execute only when the CloudFront forward the request to the origin. Use case, modifying header before reaching to the origin, adding authentication token, routing request to the different origin. Let's say that you have website hosted Germany, you have different origin. For India, you have different origin. So again, you have to run the script. You have to find out that, okay, which origin I have to request if the user is requesting for the German version. This is like one example. I have another example as well. You have origin server that require authentication token in the request header for security reason. Now you have a tight requirement of security. You have compliance requirement as well. So here origin will not provide you any content without authentication. So here we are generating this token by running the script. So this token is used to validate the request is coming from the trusted zone. In our trusted source, in our example is a CloudFront. So what will happen over here? Before sending this request, it is going to run one script which will provide authentication information. With this authentication token, the request will go to the origin, and origin can authenticate this request, and then they can serve the content. Okay. Now, origin will reply with the origin response. Now when origin response will come to the CloudFront, again it is going to run the script. So here we have third. When it runs, execute after the CloudFront receives the response from the origin, but before it caches the response or forward to the viewer. So before going to cache the content, it will run this. Use case, modifying header, altering the response status code, custom cache logic. Here I am giving you an example as well. You want to control how long certain type of content are cached by the CloudFront. For example, you might want to cache images for longer duration, but cache HTML file for a shorter period of time to ensure that updates are reflected more quickly. So this is like kind of caching policy that we can apply using the script. Now once CloudFront will get this, it is going to send this to the user. So before it is going to send this response, we are going to run one script. We call it viewer response script, right? So let's talk about this as well. When it runs, executes after the CloudFront retrieve the content, but before it sends response to the viewer. Use case, adding security header, customizing header, modifying the response header. Do you know about it? That we already discussed about response header yesterday. So if you want to modify response header, you can also modify this. There are two options, right? You can also modify from here, and you can also modify from here as well. Now here I have the same example. You want to enhance security of your website by adding CSP headers to all the response. CSP header help you to prevent cross-site scripting, clickjacking, and other code injection attacks. So there will be the script that will run to protect your data. So these are like 4 functions points association. Now, if you are going to the function association here, if you click here, you have 2 options. One, CloudFront functions and Lambda @8 function. You know, in AWS Solution Architect exam, they are surely asking one question related to the Lambda @8 function. You can go to the Google, you can find out some sample question over there. Definitely you will get question related to the Lambda @8 function. I want you to pause this video, go to the Google, find out some question related to the Lambda @8, read this question, and then complete this video. I am giving you guarantee that after completing this video, you can answer all this question. Because, you know, before creating video, we are also doing some research over here to explain you throughout examination points as well. Now, I am going to explain you what are the differences and when you can use CloudFront function or Lambda 8 function. Let's start our chapter number 3, types of functions. Sorry, I know that you want to watch full video, but full video is now not available on YouTube. If you want to watch full video, I want you to go to our website. When you will go to our website, you will find out our course 100 Days YouTube Challenge. I want you to enroll for this course by paying only 499 rupees for lifetime if you are from India. If you are from outside of India, you just need to pay $7. Once you will enroll to this course, you are going to get all full videos over there on our portal. You are also going to get certificate after completing the course, and we have just uploaded 120 videos. We are going to upload another 120 videos as well. So there will be total 240 videos. I hope we are going to meet inside the class. Thank you very much.